Hey guys, it's Alan here at Rusty Hubcap Forge, and I thought I'd show you the monstrosity that I kind of put together. The forge press is almost complete, so let's switch it around and take a look. If you got any questions about the build, put them down in the comments. Oh, there she sits. Woof. Like I said, it's been 3.5 weeks. Started out with a $250 log splitter that I bought down the road here. Sat in the garage, gentleman passed away, and daughter was trying to sell stuff, and so she was kind enough to give me the log splitter for that money. And let's do a little walk around. We'll start over here and just start it with a stand. All this is made out of scrap metal. I've got a junk shop right down the road, and I got like a truck or a pickup truck load of just plate and different stuff that I collected over, I think it was like 30 bucks. I went and just loaded up. And tank is mounted on the bottom. And up the side there, pump. Had to build a new plate for it to connect to the Lovejoy here. This is a Harbor Freight 2-horse. It's hooked up 115. It will go to 220 eventually, but I didn't have all the stuff laying around the shop. Use the old hose, one of the old hoses. Since I went down below, you can see all the new hoses. And one thing I did was to keep those up out of the way, made a little hook there, made one on the other side, a little rubber ring so it had some bounce, because this does bounce around under the pressure, this hose here. And came down, and you can see the connections here. The hoses, one was 5 feet, one was 7 feet to make the curls around, and I think I paid 97 bucks, but didn't have to put any connections on them. They were just slip joints throughout this hose here and this hose here. Kind of hard to do this. Then I just used some 12 2-wire. Had this laying around the shop. When I rewired the shop, had an old extension cord laying around from my DJ days 20-30 years ago, and used that. Foot controls are side to side, which is kind of unusual. Everybody kind of goes in the middle. Some people build these where they're passing through this way or this way, kind of limiting for what I was trying to accomplish, and the reason being, I'll show you. Over here I got railroad track top that I'm making drawing dies out of. And let me show you how the setup kind of goes. I'll put one on here. I think Ting Ting did this with a suggestion from me to pass through. What this does is you're able to pass through past this area here. And I can see a couple issues I've got to try and correct, but they're going to sit over that area, so allowed to pass through this way. And if you do drawing this way, then you're going to be able to do some flattening basically. Let's see here. There's the bottom die. Now the top die, the keepers are on there. I'm bouncing around all over the place, sorry guys. These are just the flat dies I made real quick out of what I had. Now I had to make a whole new top die. Reason being for that, if you can see, basically it's basically a 3/4 plate, and you have a keeper here that's you weld on to a plate that comes out this way into the 5x5. I think that was 3/16 box tube. Had these laying around from an old trailer, beefed it all up, got everything centered up. And the reason being I didn't use the old plate is right here. This thing is mammoth. And trying to cut this off, I'm guessing this is around 2.5 inches. I know the weld goes damn well through it, trying to save, this section and leave it to this section, trying to cut this off. I'm like, oh no. So we made a new one. I got the world's biggest hot cut Hardy, I guess. Oh, let's look at the linkage here. Cut the handle short. This log splitter had a really hard return on the real hard return this way. So I had to come up with something that would snap it back. I looked into buying a new valve, but they're a little bit of money, and right now I didn't want to spend it. So here's what we did. This is just a piece of 1/2 inch that I welded on here, and we came through a nut on the back side right here, and this is where it goes down to the foot treadle. So we bend there, come up, a little bracing across here because this was moving in and out, and put a couple gussets up there. Most of this is actually like that little tab right there. I cut off an old recliner part. I work at a furniture store full time as a furniture tech and do a lot of road work doing that. Return springs right there, comes down, used a piece of conduit that I had laying around, cross brace here, and it goes down to the linkage. The linkage here is a little different. Again, old recliner parts. Already had the holes in them. Had to drill a couple. I'm going to hold this down, sorry for the hand, and you can see kind of how that works off the foot pedal. Tank is down below. It is mounted securely. There is the motor mount, welded on some flat plate up underneath here. That way with a piece of angle. Had the 1/4 inch laying around. The motor is actually welded. There's like some little tabs here that you just cut if the motor blows, and spend another $160. So really, that's about it. Other than I found it interesting, it says, the tank says, what does it say on there? Oh, it's a Husky. And these side ones were like peeling off because of weather or whatever, so I pulled it off and it says Speedco under it. So, kind of interesting there. But, yeah, that's the forge press build. So after I get these dies made, I'll get the forge out. You know, I've got the grinders sitting there, all the welding equipment's over here. It's actually kind of a big shop, but it's a mess right now. Welding table. That's kind of the woodworking area. I do a lot of upholstery. Forge is right there. God, there's so much in here. Metal band cutting saw. I've got more saws over there. Side job I'm working on, an outdoor set that's teak. Back over here. And there's back to the forge press. And then back here, I think the building's a 32 by 48. I call this the thumb. Everything I don't use all the time stays back here. This is where I store all chemicals and so forth, away from the main work area. Back there's, let's see here, a mini shear. It's kind of one of the little try machines. You might be able to see that for fabrication that I do happen to do. Little metal bender over there for pipe. A couple other things. It's kind of, like I said, a mess right now. So, but welcome to the shop, and hopefully we'll get this up and running soon. And got a lot of side work to do any which way. So I hope to see you soon. Everybody stay happy, hearts and health, like Yamez says. Good to see you.